Higher Learning is a show about adults learning interesting facts while under the influence of marijuana. This show is filmed in Vermont, where it is legal to smoke. The staff involved in the show want to be clear that we do not support its use by those too young or where it is illegal to partake in such behavior. While this show doesn't show the usage of drugs or use coarse language, it is not intended for children. Parental discretion is advised. Now, let's get to the burning and learning. Welcome to Higher Learning, a class in disjointed information. Education, that's what I meant. Well, whatever. You knew what I meant. It's been a couple weeks. Usually for those who don't know, I teach Jason, my son, 25 facts while he is high on an edible. And then the next week we come in and I quiz him on that. Well, for the last 2 weeks, due to COVID in my house, we have not been able to come into the studio. We didn't want to get everybody sick. So
until this morning, I didn't remember
instead
we were quizzing myself
of the next
on
week,
Superman.
this is week 3 instead of week 2. So
I'm about to pass.
Well, the last time we missed a week,
I got better.
You got better, so maybe
it's even higher than the last time.
Well, let's see if he will puff pass or
puff fail.
For those who watched last week or the last episode, not last week, I taught him 25 things about Superman, and this is the quiz on that topic. Superman was created by writers Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in 1933, but the character didn't appear in comics until 1938 when they sold it to Detective Comics, now known as just DC, for how much money? There are options.
I'll need those.
Was it $75, $130, or $180?
75.
It was $130, so wrong. The original concept of Superman was he was going to be a bald villain bent on world domination with what singular power?
Telekinesis.
Telepathic. Not.
Oh.
That's different. Telepathic and telekinesis are different. Telekinesis is moving stuff. Telepathy is reading minds. Different.
Okay.
I mean, it's not correct, so I'm not counting.
Yeah, you get that wrong, all right?
No, you got that wrong.
I don't care what you think.
Look up telekinesis. The character of Perry White was created for which iteration of Superman?
The radio.
Okay, you didn't want the answers, and that's correct. The radio show. When Superman first debuted, his only powers were faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. His ability to fly was created for what reason?
It was difficult to animate him jumping?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'll give you that. It was in the cartoon, animating his legs jumping. On Earth, what is the limit to Superman's strength?
I don't know what the question's asking. Like, I don't understand that.
When he's on Earth, under the yellow sun...
What's the limit?
Yeah, what is the limit to his strength when he's on Earth?
There shouldn't be one.
There isn't one.
Okay,
so you got it. It's infinite.
All right.
It's literally infinite, because the point I had made was all those arguments of who could beat up who. If you have infinite power, I'm going with you.
Yeah, me.
Not you.
I could beat Superman with my infinite power.
Uh-huh. Out of 10 races with the Flash, how many did Superman win?
Are there options?
No.
4?
2.
All right.
He tied 3, won 2, and lost 5. Let's see. Superman has had several strange powers over the years. Which of the following is not an official power that he has had? Shape-shifting, shooting miniature versions of himself out of his hands, or a sonic scream?
Sonic scream.
Correct. That second one sounds super fake and super lame.
Well,
by the way.
It is super lame, no matter what.
Superman actually doesn't need to eat or breathe air. What is it that can sustain him without air, or food?
Sunlight.
Solar energy, yes, correct. I mean, that's correct. Why is it that his costume is able to remain fairly undamaged in most battles?
Because one of his powers is he's got a infinitely tight force field around his body that hovers just above the super suit so that he can always look perfectly pristine.
Not the exact wording, but I'm not looking for the exact wording. He's basically correct. He has a bioelectric aura just above his skin. That counts.
Yeah.
So let me give you that point. One of Superman's most recent powers is called super flare. Yeah. This occurs when all the solar energy in his body is released at once, causing a huge explosion. After he uses this power, he becomes powerless for how long? I didn't give options, so.
2 days?
24 hours.
Okay.
Where did Kryptonite first appear? There's options.
Krypton.
No. Would you like the options now?
Yes.
Was it in the comics, for the TV show, or for the radio show?
Radio show.
Correct.
I think
Take the options.
I'm double correct because it did originally happen to be on Krypton.
What?
It did originally come from Krypton.
Not one of the choices, so not really what I was looking for.
Well, not my fault you're wrong.
On the radio show, Superman once fought whom? Was it Nazis, the Klan, or both?
Both.
False. The Klan was on the radio show. Nazis was in the comics.
Well.
So, technically he fought both, but not on the radio show. There are actually many types of kryptonite. Each version has different effects. Blue kryptonite only harms what beings?
Like Bizarro Supermans.
Bizarro Kryptonians, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's correct. Name one thing Superman is vulnerable to other than kryptonite.
Just one thing?
Yep.
Magic.
Magic is one. Red sun is one. But yes. So I'll give you that because you got it. Superman's original arch enemy was not meant to be Lex Luthor, but ultra humanity. What is ultra humanity?
A planet?
No, a telepathic primate.
Oh my goodness, grow a rod.
Basically, and you
know how
made
weak
that comment
is?
a couple weeks ago.
You know how weak that is?
Well, I think this was pre-Gorilla Grodd.
Well, everything was pre-Gorilla Grodd. That was like 2011.
In Action Comics number 700, Superman, to fight America's foreign policy, did what? No, there's no options. So,
moved to Canada?
Renounced his American citizenship.
That's the same thing.
No, it is not.
I don't know the word renounced. You're asking me dumb questions.
In the 70s, there was a comic titled Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, in which there was an issue with a story that Superman turned Lois Lane into what for a day? Was it A, a child, B, a black woman, or C, a man?
A black woman.
Correct.
I'd like to see that movie done today.
I don't think that... First of all, you would have
Right?
a bunch of Superman fanatics going, there's a black Lois Lane, getting mad, not realizing it was canon. You know that would happen.
Yeah.
And then there would be a bunch of people upset that they would just do that because it seems racially insensitive to have done it that way. In the 90s, there was a canceled Superman movie that was supposed to be directed by Tim Burton and starred Nicolas Cage. While the movie was never made, Cage was still paid how much?
Like a whole lot. Like more than $1 million.
Definitely more than $1 million.
Like 24 million.
You're close. $20 million he got to keep and never had to film a scene.
He later voiced Superman in the Teen Titans Go movie.
Sure. In the graphic novel All-Star Superman, who temporarily got Superman's powers?
Lois.
Correct. George Reeves, the man that played Superman in the 50s TV show.
Unrelated to Christopher Reeves.
Well, it's George Reeves and Christopher Reeve.
I know.
So they're not related because it's a different name.
Yeah.
The man who played Superman in the 50s claims that a boy wanted to shoot him with a gun to see if the bullet would bounce off his chest. According to Reeves, what did he tell this boy?
He said, "You don't want to do that. The bullet will ricochet off and hurt somebody."
Correct. See, I'm not looking for an exact quote.
Which means
I'm not being a
that he
jerk
wasn't
about it.
telling this crazy kid with a gun, "Oh, I'm not Superman, he's fake." He said, "Don't do that, you'll hurt somebody else."
Right. Well, whatever works, right? Since Superman doesn't wear a mask, many people don't even realize that Superman has a secret identity in the comics. What reason does Superman not wear a mask? He explains that in...
Because nobody would suspect... Or, no, not that. Yeah, I don't remember. He's got, like, a power that makes it so glasses change him.
Right, it's not that. To gain people's trust, because it's easier to trust someone when you can see their face.
Whatever.
He figures he's much more trustworthy than those with masks. Superman has had some strange alternate universe versions of himself. Which of these is not a real version of Superman? Vampire Superman, Centaur Superman, Amish Superman.
Vampire Superman.
Correct. There was an Amish and there was a Centaur. Though it has since changed, what was the original reason Lex Luthor hated the Man of Steel?
Well, because Superman made him bald.
Correct. What is American Sign Language for Superman?
It's like just drawing an S on your chest, right?
Correct.
Yeah. But he likes to pretend it's not an S on his chest. It's the word hope.
Wow. Superman once went out on a double date with which Marvel hero in a crossover event?
Spider-Man?
Correct. All right, so... You have got 64%. Not enough to pass, because here we go by the rules of his high school that he had went to, where you need a 70 or it's an F. C, and then anything below a C minus is an F. Unfortunately, he puff failed, but he still did pretty good with 64%, considering
it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, we were supposed to do it 2 weeks ago. No, this is week 3.
Oh.
Because week 2 was the normal week, like 1 week away. And then we had last week, and now this week. So, yeah.
All right.
So, not bad considering the situation you
Not
had to
bad
do
considering a real school would give me a passing grade for that.
Well, you can argue that with your ex-high school all you want. I have nothing to do with it. But...
You know what? Maybe I will.
That's Higher Learning for this week. I've been your host and quizmaster, Craig.
And I've been your failure, Jason.
And tune in next time to find out what I'm going to teach him and see if he can puff pass.
Or puff fail.
Higher Learning is a show about adults learning interesting facts while under the influence of marijuana. This show is filmed in Vermont, where it is legal to smoke. The staff involved in the show want to be clear that we do not support its use by those too young or where it is illegal to partake in such behavior. While this show doesn't show the usage of drugs or use coarse language, it is not intended for children. Parental discretion is advised. Now, let's get to the burning and learning.